filming at Gen Con 2014. I am at the booth of Cool Minis or Not, where they're demoing a game that they haven't released yet. It's called Besieged: Sons of the Abyss, a cooperative game, and I'm here with Lance Hinkle from Cool Minis or Not, and one of the designers, Victor Fernandez. They have agreed to tell me, and therefore to tell you, a little bit about this game. Thank you, Victor and Lance.
No problem. Happy to explain things. So this is a fully cooperative game. The main premise behind it is the tower defense. So you're going to have enemies coming in from all sides. It's also a resource management game, so your characters are going to gather different resources to upgrade their abilities, get new weapons, get better attacks to take out more enemies. And it also is a protection game. You have a special character that is going to have to go out of the castle and get a relic and bring it back to the castle in order to win the game. So you have to be very focused on protecting him as well as doing all the other mechanics. So it's a really balance of all three different features.
So you need to protect your own character, and you also need to protect this special character who is a non-playing or non-completely playing character.
Yes.
Got it. So that is the board, which looks gorgeous, by the way, looks really beautiful, and is also, well, covered with equally interesting and detailed miniatures. Is this the final art? How the game is going to look like?
It's almost finished.
It's almost finished, perfect. So can you tell me a little bit more about the mechanics, turn order, turn actions, things in general?
So at the beginning of the turn, the first thing you'll do is you're going to try to move your messenger, which is your non-player character. The only way he can move...
Which one is the messenger?
He is... this guy here. And you, at the beginning of the game, you will pick one of the directions to go, and that's where he's dedicated to. In order to move him, the space he's on has to be free of enemies, and the space he wants to move into has to be free of enemies.
Okay.
So you have to really focus on that. There's 3 zones on each board. So he'll start at the very beginning and start shifting his way up each turn. You'll have 12 turns in order to get him off the board and then back to the castle. So basically six turns out of the 12 you're going to need to be moving him. From there, at the beginning of each turn, after you move him, if you're able to, you will spawn enemies, and how you will do that is you will roll a dice that we'll have, and based on what you roll on each zone, you will spawn the enemies that are associated with that color.
So you compare the result of the dice with the icons on the board?
Yes.
With those, perfect. I see several boards here. Different enemy boards have different type of enemies that come out of them?
Well, you'll have enemies, cards for the enemies, and you'll generate those at the beginning of each season. There's 4 seasons. So at the beginning of each season, you will recycle your enemies, and so there's 3 types of enemies. Alright, so when you're spawning different enemies, you have 3 different types of enemies. You have your assault enemies, and there's 2 types of those. There's the standard guys and the elites. And then anytime you spawn the assault guys, they will always accompany an elite soldier. So, for example, if you roll this card, if you roll on the summer season, you get 4 enemies. 3 of them will be your standard guys, and you'll get 1 elite for a total of 4.
So you get different enemies depending on the season.
Correct.
Different numbers of enemies.
Yes. Your second type of enemy is your mid-range enemy. And so you have your standard mid-range and your elite.
Let me just turn a little bit so we see the profile of the beast that they are riding.
Yep. And so they will attack from zone 2. And then your last type, which is your artillery type of enemy, is the heavy.
That's a scary guy.
Yes, and he will attack right away from zone 3, and he basically lobs these big shells into your citadel, and he is the one that's going to do the most damage to you. So he is the guy you really want to focus on taking out. because he will just start destroying your buildings as well as hitting your characters. So he kind of just does splash damage. And then the last type of character we have the characters, and there's 6 different characters in the base set. And each one of them has his own special abilities. We have the soldier, we have a mercenary, we have a blacksmith, a wizard, an archer, and
well, they're right there on the board.
Yes.
One go. Okay.
Yeah, there definitely is a lot of plastic on the board as the game is on, but it's nice plastic. Even unpainted.
Yes.
Even if the
There's
game is played by people
details.
like me who are not particularly paint savvy, you can still get a very strong aesthetic experience.
Yes. And the detail just pops right out of them, so you can see them from the tabletop.
How do you win or lose the game?
So for winning the game, you have to move that messenger out and then back into your castle. And losing the game is either by having your characters being wiped out, or running out of time on the season track, or if the assault enemies are able to get to the first zone and then the following turn attack. If they attack, they will destroy your walls and get in and destroy your characters. So it's either by killing characters or enemies getting to the wall or killing your messenger.
Thank you. I'm here with Jorge and Victor, who are the 2 developers of the game, and well, they have agreed to tell us a little bit about their ideas, the ideas behind the game. When you started designing the game, what was your leading idea? What were you trying to achieve?
Was to make an easy game at the beginning, but it gains more complexity with the time we are working in it.
The first idea was we want to application for digital support for iPad and different tablets, but when we start to make the prototype to study the different mechanics, we discovered that the prototype was functional and the game was more interesting in physical than in digital, and it's the start of the idea.
Yeah, because I can definitely tell with those miniatures, it just has a beautiful appeal, the 3-dimensional figures. It's just much more interesting than, well, if you're looking at them on a small tablet. I was wondering, what are your inspirations? Were there games or game designers that you looked at when you were looking for ideas and inspirations?
Okay, in a first moment, our idea, we play a lot of games normally, but in a first moment, our idea was not give different inspirations of new games, because we want to find our original idea and a different game. And I think we finally obtained a hybrid of a different type of games, but we don't believe that this game is similar to another games.
And how long did it take? How much trial and error did it take to create the game, to bring the game from the original idea to a place where you were satisfied with it?
Half a year.
Half a year?
Half a year.
Around 6 months?
Yes.
Yes. Did you have many playtesters?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many people were you able to recruit?
More 100 people.
Wonderful. One last thing. Victor, what is the thing that you like the most about the design, that you're most proud about in this game?
Sorry?
What is the thing that you like the most about this design, that you are the most proud of?
I'm wondering if they went with the Oh, so it's good.
Maybe the whole product. It's the board, the character cards, it's
almost everything. Well, that's very good. It's very good. Everything and how the things go together. How about you, Jorge? What's the thing that you like the most?
Oh, I'm agree with with Victor, and I like the different colors that you can find in this game, and the mixture with miniatures. I think it's a good combination. Probably if the miniatures are painted, the good painted, gain more, but now we don't have enough time to do it.
Of course.
It's a full colorist game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's already a lot of color on the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you.